There was a time when survival didn't come from supermarkets. It came from soil, patience and knowledge passed quietly between generations. During the Second World War, millions of families relied on backyard gardens not as a hobby, but as a lifeline. These weren't the neat aesthetic plots you see on social media today. They were dense, practical, and designed for one purpose: to keep people alive through uncertainty, rationing, and long winters. What's surprising is that many of the crops that carried families through those difficult decades didn't just feed them for a season. They kept producing, reseeding, and sustaining households for years, sometimes decades. Yet today, most of these crops have vanished from modern gardens. Not because they stopped working, but because convenience replaced resilience. This guide digs into those forgotten crops, why they mattered, and how you can still use them today to build a garden that doesn't fail when things get tough. The crops that quietly fed families year after year were chosen for survival, not taste. Wartime gardeners didn't prioritize flavor or appearance. They chose crops that were reliable, calorie-dense, and capable of thriving in poor soil with minimal care. One of the most important was the Jerusalem artichoke, also known as sunchoke. This hardy tuber could survive frost, poor soil, and neglect. Once planted, it kept coming back year after year without replanting. Families would harvest what they needed and leave the rest in the ground as a living food storage system. If you want to apply this today, plant sunchokes along a boundary or unused patch. Don't treat them like delicate vegetables. Treat them like a permanent food source. Harvest in small amounts and let the rest multiply naturally. Another staple was mangelwurzel, a large root crop related to beets. It produced massive yields and could be stored for months in simple root cellars. While often associated with animal feed today, wartime households used it in soups, stews, and even bread mixtures when flour was scarce. Growing it now means dedicating space to bulk food production rather than variety. But the payoff is significant. One planting can feed a family through an entire season. One of the biggest differences between modern gardening and wartime gardening is the reliance on perennials. Crops like perennial kale, sorrel, and walking onions were essential because they eliminated the need to replant every season. Walking onions in particular were invaluable. Instead of producing seeds, they grow small bulbs at the top of their stalks, which fall over and replant themselves. Over time, a single row becomes a self-expanding food source. Families didn't need to worry about seed shortages or timing. They simply harvested what was available. You can recreate this system by planting walking onions once and allowing them to naturalize. Avoid over-harvesting. Let part of the crop complete its cycle so it continues to spread. This is how wartime gardens became self-sustaining with minimal input. Modern gardens often revolve around short harvest windows, but during the Second World War, gardens focused on extending the growing season as long as possible. Crops like landcress, mustard greens and winter spinach were favoured because they could survive cold temperatures and keep producing when other plants just, gave up. Landcress, for example, really thrives in cooler weather and can be harvested again and again. It doesn't bolt as quickly as modern lettuce varieties, making it far more reliable. Families would sow it in succession and harvest continuously, ensuring a steady supply of greens even during those tough rationing periods. To use this today, simply shift your planting schedule. Instead of focusing only on spring and summer, plant cold hardy greens in the later seasons. Combine this with simple protection methods like cold frames or even improvised covers, and you can extend your harvest right into the colder months. Wartime gardening wasn't just about what you could eat right away. It was about what you could store for the future. Crops like parsnips, turnips and cabbage were chosen because they could last for months without any refrigeration. Parsnips were often left in the ground through winter, and they actually become sweeter after a good frost. This reduced the need for storage space and made sure there was fresh food available even in the coldest months. Cabbage, on the other hand, was turned into sauerkraut, preserving it for long periods while adding a bit of nutritional value. If you want to take a page from this approach, dedicate part of your garden to storage crops. Learn simple preservation methods like fermentation or root cellaring. Even a basic pit or an insulated box can extend the life of your harvest quite a bit. So, why did these crops fall out of favour? The answer's actually pretty simple. Modern agriculture shifted toward uniformity, speed and market appeal. Crops that didn't look perfect, taste sweet or fit into industrial systems were left behind. Sunchokes, for instance, are difficult to control and harvest commercially. Mangelwurzel doesn't fit into modern retail standards. Perennial vegetables don't require annual seed purchases. In short, these crops just don't support the business model of modern food systems. But for individuals and families, that's exactly what makes them valuable. They offer independence, reliability, and long-term sustainability. Qualities that were absolutely essential during the war and, honestly, are becoming relevant again today. Start small. Choose one or two of these crops and integrate them into your garden. Plant sunchokes in a corner and let them get established. Add walking onions along a pathway. Introduce a cold hardy green like landcress for off-season harvesting. Observe how these plants behave differently from modern varieties. Notice how little effort they require once they're settled in. Over time, you'll build a system that produces food not just for a season, but for years. This isn't about going backward, it's about reclaiming knowledge that was proven under the harshest conditions. If you value this kind of deep, practical history and want more insights that actually make a difference today, make sure to subscribe and share this with someone who appreciates real resilience.